Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Hagrid, also known as Tucker, Unbothered Chef Jackus, and of course, Louie. We are in the thick of the week of Christmas, guys. So happy holidays to all those who celebrate. And yeah, unfortunately, the market is not really feeling in the Christmas spirit over the last few days. And really, it kind of started last week, right? We started dumping on Bitcoin, on ETH, and pretty much across all markets when Jerome Powell started speaking at FOMC. Altcoins in particular have had a rough last week or so. But we will be talking about, where we think these coins are going next, how we think they're going to trade into the end of the year, how we think they're going to trade in 2025, and of course, the levels that we are watching for all of these assets. But before we can start cooking for you guys, before we can start sharing all of that big, juicy alpha, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button. And as I was joking last week, if you need to take out some of your frustration on the like button, maybe you got liquidated, maybe you round trip some P&L, whatever it is, make sure to smash that like button for us. Maybe you're short and you're enthusiastic about where price is at right now. You too, smash the like button, guys. We're going to have a great show today. Like I said, we're going to talk about where our coins are going. And of course, whether or not 2025 is bullish or bearish for crypto. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said at the start of the stream, we have been dumping effectively since Jerome Powell took the stage and started fudding all of our bags, fudding all assets, really. I mean, equity markets are once again, they're a little bit red to open the day. Volatility, still waiting to see if they can get it crushed below 20. It is below 20 right now, but we want to see that continue to get smashed into this week and obviously the new year. I look across the board at altcoins. It's kind of more of the same from last week, but it is Monday, so we could be putting in some early week lows. Maybe we're not. Like I said, we're going to talk about all of that and more. Interesting to see ETH holding up much stronger than Bitcoin. I'm sure we'll get some commentary on that later from the comments, but I'd love to know y'all's thoughts on the market. Of course, it has been a very volatile last 2 or 3, or really not even 2 or 3 weeks, really just the last 7 or 8 days. Like I said, not just in crypto, but also across all markets, but especially in altcoins. So I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. And of course, we have to answer the question of the title. Is 2025 going to be a bullish or a bearish year for crypto? But how are you guys doing? And of course, I would also like to start the show because I don't know if we're going live tomorrow, aren't we?
No. This is okay. So we're doing. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit now, I think. Today, and then I think a half day Friday. So we should be back for market check on Friday, but taking tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday off.
Beautiful. I just had to know so that I can ask this question because I feel like I've got to start the show with some holiday cheer. What is everybody's favorite holiday tradition?
Wow. I can.
You weren't expecting that one.
No, I was not. I was not, Tommy. Favorite holiday tradition? Well, usually it's the Santa rally, right? That didn't happen. No. Favorite holiday tradition? Opening presents and eating cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning for sure. Like, is there anything better? I don't think
There
so.
is. Watching the 1 minute chart bleed and be forever alone.
Yeah,
No, for me, it's definitely just the regular normal thing. Just watching movies with family and discussing just general shit and enjoying the Christmas vibe. Just rather like the general thing. I do enjoy it quite a bit.
Louis?
I have a baby crying. I'm just gonna have to wait to answer that question.
Oh no.
Oh man, for me, it's really just spending time with family, right? And of course, drinking eggnog. Those are probably my two favorite holiday traditions. Not even the alcoholic kind. I like just straight up eggnog. It's delicious.
You like just normal eggnog, Tommy?
Yes, it's so good. Are you kidding?
I guess.
Well, that's definitely going to be a beer for me, though, but not like you would expect otherwise.
Might have one of those, but I will say it does seem like bulls were on Santa's naughty list this year. Altcoins are nuking. Crypto assets are struggling really over the last few weeks, or really over the last week. But I think it's a great time to get back on topic and kind of discuss where we think price is headed here over the next few weeks. We kind of gave some commentary, of course, in our Discord earlier this morning, but I'd love to continue to elaborate on where we think this market's headed, and of course, what we're expecting in 2025, guys.
Well,
volatility.
I know Jackus has some thoughts.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I would really, really, really like to see Bitcoin hold 92K in a big way. I would like to see that. Even more so for altcoins, though. I would love to see ETH, hold here, but really like 3,100 to 3K. I think this consolidation down here absolutely has to hold, and I think it will. But to some degree, expecting chop through the end of the year, right? To some degree, I think ETH can probably set a higher low while Bitcoin sets a lower low, which is something we saw at the bottom in 2022, which would be very nice. But yeah, that could mean another one of these for ETH and some more chop. But I kind of think we're gonna do this for ETH on a smaller time frame, right? So a little bit of chop coming, a little bit of chop. But what do you guys think?
What do you make of ETH kind of holding pretty strong here while BTC is down % on the day?
Well, it's one of two things. Either ETH is either the boomers are bidding ETH through their ETFs and they're booing price somehow. I guess there's three, or ETH has become a fantastic new pristine asset and store value, or ETH is about to catch up big time to the downside, which I would rather not like to see. But I think what needs to happen for that third scenario to not be the case is for Bitcoin to kind of spring before ETH can make it down there, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can get Bitcoin to sweep this low and bounce pretty hard, like do one of these before ETH can make it down here, then that's your higher low scenario for ETH, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, Tucker. It's one of two things. It's either we are shaping up to see altcoin outperformance into the new year, kind of in line with the seasonality that we've been discussing for a while now, or ETH holding up better than Bitcoin isn't necessarily the best thing here.
Yeah. I think ETH has done its higher time frame retest, and it's kind of going to fluctuate here. I'm very positive going into 2025. I think lots of people are still missing the bigger picture there. And obviously, the situation is going to be slightly different. And we've seen that all cycle where you kind of can treat everything together, but at the same time you can't. And it seems to me like there is always around, you always get some higher time frame higher, and during that it's a different asset that takes the spotlight. So it could have been Sol and XRP, and maybe the next one is ETH. But I think generally speaking, ETH is looking very, very good. And seeing this from a little bit more zoomed out perspective, had it not kind of been easy, right? You would be enjoying the chart. And so with that premise in mind, and with the fact that Trump's going into the office, setting the economy very well for low caps, I just am cheerful for that year, because as I said, I think there is going to be lots of volatility, but obviously there are legs in between that scare people, like for example the one we had lately, right? And it's not going to be that like you go up and then you go straight it's not going to be like you go down and then straight up. That time and that range is exactly what puts people off guard. It's kind of like when we had the August 5th drop, and then that was a great higher time frame level. The price range there over 3 months, and that really put people off guard, right? If you just had a drop and then, sorry, maybe I cut out, and then you were to quickly go back up, then that wouldn't change the sentiment. So I think ETH will kind of fluctuate here still, between like 3.8K to even the current prices, and like 3.2, and kind of chill. And then when it's ready, it's ready. And the season really comes in the moment ETH breaks 4K. Like that's the crucial one. And it's always been, and the more we press it, the lesser the reactions from it has been. So I think next time kind of breaks it pretty much.
I kind of feel like the window for downside is into the inauguration. I remember a few weeks ago we were talking about how the inauguration itself could be a sell the news event, but no, I do think that you're most likely to see downside in this market before Trump gets elected into office, because he was even joking about it. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? He basically said no dips. Yeah, he did. So I'm going to assume that's probably the case whenever he does get inaugurated. But of course, we're kind of seeing some negative feedback loop actually from the rebalancing flows into the end of the year and the start of the new year, rather than a positive feedback that we were kind of expecting. So, that will probably, it doesn't have to persist further from here, but what we thought were going to be supportive turned out to be a little bit adversarial to price. And I imagine when Trump does get inaugurated, we see a shift in that narrative. But I think ETH as well, like structurally, I think it needs to reclaim 3,600. I was watching the options pricing a lot actually over the last few days. There was a pretty significant demand for hedges that came in specifically on that bounce into the 3,500, 3,600 level. So I think if you are able to flip that price, beyond just like a sweep, then I think that you have the fuel for upside once again to squeeze these options guys out of their hedges. Yeah, and just to clarify, the expiration on the hedges that were bought was January 31st.
Yeah, people are definitely hedging like the remainder of the current administration, essentially, is what they're doing, right? Because we've seen some pretty wild stuff in the last month, right? Like there was almost a government shutdown last week. There's the whole like drones thing. Like it's just kind of like from now for the next 30 days is really kind of up in the air with like what is going to come down the pipe from kind of a, not like a black swan, but just like I genuinely don't know like what's going to happen coming from the government basically. So I think people are somewhat hedging that. But one of our guys in our Discord just posted this, which we all kind of know, but it's good to visualize. Let me just copy paste this. It's just the ETH returns, guys. It's just the ETH returns. Can everyone see this? Because you guys need to observe this. Okay. And this is what
Tucker, I would have you to do like like there is a chart and you can do it on average, and historically average Ether January returns are the highest ever, and Q1 is the most bullish period for ETH. So you can like find the same chart. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same. I can post it to you.
Dear God, Louis, I have to mute you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Louis got a screaming baby in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can find the average returns there. So give me just a sec so that I find it. Yeah. So if you open this one, Big Tag, I will send it to you on Discord. Then on the right side, actually those are quarterly. But if you it's like the bottom tab, and if you flip it to ease, if you flip it, then you'll see that January has the best monthly returns in history.
Yeah. So this
and Q1 has the best returns.
I'll just get all of Q1 here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 1 second. All right. Yeah, this needs to be observed. But yeah, basically, I mean, this is what we talked about with ETHBTC too, right? Like forever, is that it's always been Q1 of the post-halving year, which is what is displayed right there. But this makes it even clearer, right? I made it too big. All right.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So average January return for ETH is 23%, February 17, March 22. Okay. And if you really look at post-halving years, right, 2017 and 2021, right, that's where we are.
Yeah, and I would even like use the median, because the median is probably even better. Although it's even less about like the average return, because it's always about the context. But generally, this period is just the most bullish for ETH, right? And then the context is that we are running into a very loose government policy, just as not very loose, but looser monetary policy by Fed. And with this seasonality and the structure that ETH is having on the hard timeframe, that just makes like the perfect explosion for the breakout. Again, speaking on like the weekly time frame perspective.
Yeah. Also, this is for you, Louis. Don't plan a baby during the bull cycle. What you want to do is hit that 2018, 2022, 2026. That's funny.
Yeah, so next year, guys. Next year is where you make it, and then it gets born into the bear market.
Yeah. Born in the bear market, baby. All right.
You thought that you were bored, and you saw that you adopted the shadow. I was bored in it, molded by it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
I was molded by the bear market.
It's true. It's true. What do you guys think about Solana here?
It looks rough, man, but
it looks really
it could
rough.
look worse.
But dude, everything looks the worst when it's bottom.
It literally looks like a middle finger.
I know.
Middle finger in the making. Yeah. Now, as long as it's holding this level, I think this is all that's like all it is when it comes to Solana. Like that level you had there before, that's all that matters, and the rest is just noise.
And that's right here.
Yeah, and simply at support, you expect support to hold. And keep in mind, so like where it gets tough, right, is that you draw that line, and it's right there in front of you. But the current weekly candle that you have there won't close. It's like basic knowledge, but that weekly candle, that little green one that's currently shaping, it will not close until after 7 days. And so what people do during that week, Hopefully not this one, because we have Christmas. So hopefully people spend some time with their family. But usually they forget this chart. They go on the hourly, and that's when it gets scary, and they are like, no, this man, this is breaking down. And they forget this time frame.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah. Yeah, because even if you get like this, that can all happen before this candle even closes, right?
Right.
You know, which would be pretty gnarly if that did happen. But
like, you do not see any wick on that weekly candle, which by itself doesn't like mean anything for certainty, but there is a good case we're gonna sweep that last week's weekly low. But that can all happen within a week. And I want everyone to remember when I was saying during October, right? I was saying, hey, we're gonna get likely a first part of the month shakeout. You know, people started to call for Rectober instead of October and made fun of everyone who called it. And then October was a real October, man. So that's kind of how these things shape up.
yeah,
I just hope it doesn't devolve into another range. I mean, that would probably be the worst. I would just like some volatility, I think. Not another
This
5 to
chart.
6 month range.
Yeah. This
feels
out
like it should be lose this level or it's lights out.
Yeah. I mean, we were looking at it compared to ETH BTC, right? So
yeah,
this. Like, let me go weekly. And that's what we had drawn on here was like this. So, I mean, it looks like that already happened though, right? Like, it looks like this already kind of played out. Well, maybe.
I think this time around, though, it will actually be kind of bullish, because when you look at ETH, you really had no level there that it could bounce from, whereas it's still at support on Sol BTC this time.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you didn't had that breakout higher first is kind of bullish. I could see it being bullish. That said, it once again depends on the USD pair, whether it holds that weekly level or not. When you are at it, you expect it to hold. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and this was also June of 2022. So this was like the bottom, the depths of the bear market when this happened for ETH or ETH BTC, I mean. So slightly different context, but still played out.
I do think the context is different. I don't think these will look exactly the same.
No. But that's a pretty gnarly structure break on Sol BTC.
It is, but we've seen assets recover from structures like this and then rip to new highs. It's not really my base case with Sol specifically, but I think back to ETH during the merge. I talk about this structure all the time. ETH had some sort of a 3 drive, a very light complacency shoulder, I believe, and then it went all the way down, took the lows of the 3 drive, and then it ripped face to a new high. I think like 50% above the previous high. So that's not really my bias, but yeah, I'm talking about ETUSD during the merge. I remember that vividly.
Did you guys stay up and watch the merge happen?
What?
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 The ETH merge.
You watched it live, Tommy?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Of course. I wanted to see if it like completely just shot the bed or not.
Nerds.
I remember watching it because funding was so negative. I was like, surely they're going to squeeze this. And then as soon as the merge happened, funding rates went back to neutral. And I was like, oh no, longs are about to get slaughtered.
Wasn't it September in 21?
It was in 2022. It was off the bottom.
It was here. No.
Further.
I thought it was in September.
It was over the summer in 2022.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I remember it was
August.
I think it
Maybe
was the top. Or was it that complacency high?
I think it was I'm pretty sure it was September in 2022. Late Sep 2022. Yeah, it was right here. This was the merge. Late Sept. No, it had to be. It was a high.
I thought it was in August.
All right, this is an easy Google. I don't know what we're doing. When was the merge? September 15th.
Being so skewed negative that I genuinely thought they were going to squeeze it back to the high, and it was bait because funding immediately went back to neutral.
September 15th. It was right here. This was it. But that was the top for ETH BTC, I'm pretty sure, is what happened. But it was also like we were in a damn bear market, you know. Yeah, this was it right here. Against ETH BTC, it was a top. ETH USD, it wasn't really anything. It was right here. This was the merge. It's been down only since then.
Because they moved away from proof of work.
Yeah.
Proof of stake's a scam, but I won't get on a little side rant about that.
Get on a soapbox about it.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right, we need to look. I'd like to look at equities to some degree and DXY.
I think equities are going to bounce.
140.
Is it that bad?
It's just a little grainy, yeah.
Well, they can't see how clear my skin is then, but no, it's I'm at I'm traveling, guys. I'm at my in-laws' house, so I'm upstairs as well, and I'm like the Wojak in the attic.
The Wojak in the attic. How's our little investor doing? I mean, this is where we have to see the DXY get smacked, right? Like we need to see it get stuffed in this FVG right here. Yeah.
I am watching the VIX.
Oh,
that to me is what is most interesting in equity land right now, because
I hate
we've been talking about I mean, we've been talking about how volatility is going to rise in 2025. And because of that, I think you can expect one of two scenarios, right? I mean, obviously, market up, volatility up, or market down, volatility up. Obviously, we'd prefer market up, volatility up that comes from a market blowing off higher effectively, in the same way that we've seen in the past from something like the tech bubble, in the late 1990s, early 2000s. But I just trading the VIX itself, I kind of think we're going to retrace a majority of, if not all of that impulse. And I'm kind of looking for a reaction again at like 15 or 16 on it. So I'll be paying attention to it again there, and kind of what happens to equities from there, I think will be obviously really important, and probably largely driven by something like NVIDIA, which is, last time I checked, showing more strength than the majority of the Mag 7. There was a pretty big AI catalyst that came out a few days ago. I can't quite describe it, but the people who I know that are very in tune with AI think it's a pretty important innovation.
What was it? What happened?
I think it's, what is it, like OS or something?
No idea what that means.
I would like to thank my wife for my skincare.
Tommy looks like an exfoliating type of guy. Oh, Louis, what's your take on the newest NVIDIA innovation?
What's that? Do they have AI that stops babies from crying while you're trying to work?
No, they don't.
Then I don't care.
The newest AI technology stops and digits.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
I'm not sure if that tech has come out yet, Jackus.
Oh god,
that's the most
it
advanced.
doesn't look. The chart doesn't look bad though. Nvidia
No,
looks pretty
Nvidia
good.
looks good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Nvidia's not topped. MicroStrategy's not topped. Crypto's not topped. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Let them know.
Can we talk about how, I mean, if you could use an adjective in a not, I mean, it could be complimentary, it could be non-complimentary about Michael Saylor, what would you be saying right now? Because this man bought billions of Bitcoin at almost the pico top of the last rally, literally like 106, 107K Bitcoin. He is top blasting. I feel like he is, I can't really pick an adjective, but he really feels like just Do Kwon with a little bit more money and maybe a little bit more psychotic.
I mean, he's just trading Bitcoin the way that all boomers trade the S&P 500, right? Where they just they don't care. They just they are truly brain off, just shoving no matter the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they do not care because they know the chart just does this. So
they don't like holding cash, right? It's like, why hold cash?
They're allergic.
Like, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need cash for day-to-day purposes. He has that. So like for us normies, it's hard to comprehend. But once you have that much money, it's like, I don't want to hold cash. I'm going to hold assets. His favorite asset is Bitcoin. So he's going to continue to buy it. You know, and
but it's not like he's buying
he bought at 108 and it's at 90 now. Like, you know,
Wait,
I would agree that
his 401k, he's buying with debt and leverage. So he's kind of like,
I agree with that. I agree with that. He's a little unhinged for sure, right? But yeah, I don't know. He's got a big time horizon. If it works out for him, I don't know. I don't know if it ultimately works out. If he was just buying with his own money, then yeah, sure. But yeah, the fact that he's leveraging debt and stock, like company stock and all that, that's a little scary.
Do you guys not know the famous Gordon Gekko line? I create nothing. I own. That's his strategy. I own. He just wants to own it all.
He's definitely crime maxing.
I would agree though. Like he never like if he just waited for pullbacks every now and again, like he'd probably do a little better. He just doesn't.
He doesn't care, man. He
just
truly doesn't
all right,
care.
I got the money, we're buying. Like I don't care.
What is his average price?
Borrowing money for free, basically, and shoving. His average is 50. Well, it was 58 before he top blasted 106. So, I mean,
that's bad.
It's probably somewhere in the it's probably like 62 or something. I don't know.
He had such a great average, man. He could have just walked away, but no.
There was a question. Do you think we can retest 72K and he goes to 2,500 and the structure can still be bullish, or it's over at that point? So like BTC can retest 72K and still remain bullish, but I don't think that happens the same way NVIDIA didn't retest its breakaway gap. For ETH, it cannot really be going to 2,500. For if it were, then it's likely over at that point for Ether. So yeah.
No, I don't think you can come back in here, man.
If people, he loses 2,500 or goes to 2,500, you're also going to see probably like 1,500 in the same candle.
Exactly. Like people often wish, and this is the similar situation where you guys know that you guys know how we handled the 49K drop, right? But at that point, lots of people were still calling for 40K, and I was saying that after 49K bounce, you could not have both. Like you could not have BTC still going to 40K and remaining bullish. And so it had to be going up. And luckily it was, and we are where we are today. But the same way, you cannot have people waiting for ETH at 2,500 because at that point, if you want to buy down there, you will probably get to buy like at 3 digits. I'm not even kidding.
Whoa,
so
yes.
No, it cannot have like there are certain higher time frame market structure rules that simply cannot be broken, and lots of people just ignore them. Like it doesn't matter what the TA do, but it does, and you simply cannot have that. So I do expect, like when you are at support, at higher time frame support, which is where we are, you simply expect it to hold. And if it doesn't, that's bad, but usually it does, right? And at that support, you expect it to hold. And I did the same many times. BNB was also a great example. Like when it was trading $200, lots of people were saying that it's going to break down as FTX had, and that it's over and it's going to go to like $10 or something. And it simply held at support, because at support you remain bullish until proven otherwise. And we are where we are today. People did not study crime enough, of course, but yeah, that's kind of like how it is with ETH.
Yeah, I want to look at the yearly charts for Bitcoin, because somebody was talking about, who was it? Actually, it was one of our guys, Tommy, one of our guys on Twitter, said 2023 didn't have a wick.
On the yearly?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, on the bottom?
Yeah, there is no wick.
I have a rule about flat bottoms or tops on candles. It either means one of two things. Either it's going to be rebalanced within a few candles, or it's the beginning of a very scammy impulsive move. And I think, we're literally trading at 100K. So
look at 20.
Look at that
2013.
flat bottom.
Look at 20.
I know this one, Louis. This one right here at 29 cents. Unreal. This one barely had it. 2013 barely had it. Yeah, barely had it. But let's look at post-halving years. All right, there's a wick there. Barely a wick right here. You know what I mean? So
wait, so that's the yearly candle that's about to close in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a yearly.
This was a post-halving year.
So we have a yearly breakout candle about to close.
Yes.
And people are bearish.
Yeah, look at this yearly chart.
They are.
That's non-log.
Yeah, looks bearish.
Unreal. Looks bearish, man.
I told you so.
Yeah. Pretty unreal.
Yeah, I do want to see the dollar top here, though. I think that's important as well with in tandem with the VIX continuing to bleed back lower going into January. I think that's the recipe to, continue the rally and continue higher like we normally do. And I showed last show, like the same thing happened during the 2017 cycle where the Dixie put in a blow off top and type of basically a bull trap for the dollar. December of 2016 going into 2017, and that basically top ticked the dollar, and then the dollar went down for a year straight, which allowed that 2017 crypto altcoin season to happen, right? With the DXY trending down, your risk on assets are going to trend higher in that environment. So I think we're seeing something similar to that. And as long as the VIX behaves, like Tommy said, you get our top here on the dollar over the next couple of weeks, I think it's business as usual. And this is just a pullback in an uptrend. Like that's just what's going to happen in markets. People don't like it. No one likes it, but it's just part of how markets work. You can't have, straight up only forever, right? Pullbacks are going to happen. And when the pullbacks happen, people always go to the extremes, right? Because now, how many questions have we seen about 70K? That's probably the 7th or 8th time I've heard that in the last 2 days. Oh, we're going to 70K. It's just so funny because every time we've gotten a pullback similar to this over the past 2 years, it comes out at the same time, right? Like we're probably close to our bottom, and then everyone's freaking out thinking we're going to go, 20 or 30K lower. It's just so funny how the same emotions come out and the same fear posting comes out almost at the same exact time of every pullback we've had in the last 2 years. And it's so funny. And then everyone, calls us stupid and, these guys are only right, on larger time frames. They don't know what they're talking about. And then a couple months later, we're right again, so because we're playing the long game and everyone else is just playing with their emotions. So it's just funny how all this plays out. But, the way the cycles have played out over the last basically every single Bitcoin and crypto bull run cycle, we're on the same trajectory, right? Nothing has changed, and it's business as usual. It's just funny how it's constantly plays out the same way over and over again.
I really, really think we're putting in this candle right now, right? I think this because I agree, right? We are playing the long game, and this is the quarterly chart, right? This is the Bitcoin quarterly chart. Okay, so you can pretty clearly see that when you break the all-time high, I'm not going to count this. Okay, I'm not going to count this Q1 of last year because it barely got over there. But when you really bust through this previous all-time high, boom, you had 2 more quarters. Boom, you had 1 more quarter. Okay, so at minimum, you have Q1, right? But this was the Luna collapse. Like this was May of 21, so somewhat extenuating circumstances, right? But minimum, you should have at least another pretty much just green meat stick Q1, right? Coming up.
Like a quarterly breakout is significant.
Yeah.
We never had a cycle where we had a all-time high breakout and so many were bearish about like everything.
Yeah.
Or like with such PTSD, which is good thing obviously for the long run in a way. So yeah, everyone is questioning everything this cycle, and that's how it is. The charts speak the truth. By the way, Louis, you mentioned that some people say something about us or something. Like, don't pay attention to that, because I had people tell me that at the same time on the same situation, I was too bullish and bearish at the same time. They have no idea what your takes mostly are. Like they are, not everyone, but there are individuals who can say basically both or anything about you. They can misunderstand the context you were talking about or something. So yeah.
No, you can't. I just think I don't care at all. I laugh. I think it's funny. It's because it's like the same thing plays out over and over again in just like a year or two time. It's just so funny watching the emotions ooze out. I think it's funny, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, ETH's almost up 3% on the day.
No way.
Yeah.
Thank God. Looks like they're crushing the VIX again a little bit.
It's coming into 15, 16. That's I think the level to watch for a reaction again.
I need 12, Tommy. I need 12.
You're not gonna get 12 again, brother.
Tommy, we need.
You probably
12.
won't see 12 on the VIX for at least a year.
What?
Yeah, I mean, have you looked at the forward pricing of volatility in equity markets?
No.
It's rising into the middle of next year, which means either blow off top or or market down, vold up.
What is the is there a VIX futures that you looked at?
No, there's a skew. I can find the tweet.
Isn't this the VIX? Yeah, this is VIX futures.
This is a little different than the VIX though, because it's got contango.
Oh my God, I'm on log.
It's got what?
It's got contango.
It just bleeds to zero forever. Yeah.
Is that what that means? I've never heard that word before.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know contango, Louis? Oh, you need to study this chart, brother.
I remember this. I remember this ticker.
That is contango. Also,
It's
this
crazy.
is Contango.
Oh boy.
Little TMF action.
That was a throwback because Bitcoin ticker right there.
Do you play a bounce on that soon?
Maybe. Bounce
That
on
kind of looks
sweet,
like
maybe?
doesn't it kind of look like Bitcoin at like 20K in 2022?
How do you just pull that out?
Yeah.
It's the bottom kind of looks like it, right?
As if I could just imagine that off the top of my head.
And I'm like,
Too much screen time, Louis. Too much screen time.
I know.
No, I have screen time. I just have the memory of a.
Yeah, I was.
He's talking about this. Just this bottom formation.
Like that.
So maybe you get this move. Boom.
What does that mean for the 10-year?
It means higher if this goes lower. Well, it does have contango. We should just look at TLT, honestly. Yeah, I need some opinions. I need some opinions on the 10-year because we need this to be topped so badly. Guys,
you need to wait.
That's true.
We need this to be done.
We do need this, and that also means that the XY needs to be top tier. I do agree.
I mean, I think it's at that level. It needs to be cooked, but
this needs to be a bull trap here.
I mean, I'm seeing lower highs.
Looking at the dollar over time frame, it looks like possible that we're putting in a top, but it's very hard to call a move like that on the dollar. I've tried many times. So, but just knowing the general area, like right where Tucker has mapped out, that's a massive liquidity zone there, and that's likely where we see our top in here, similar to what we saw in 2017. So, yeah, we need this to be a bull trap. We need the yields to be a bull trap, the bond yields, the 10-year, and this is like I know it's funny. It's like a meme saying the one final sweep of the lows or the one final shakeout, but if it's gonna happen, it's here, right?
It has become such a meme, hasn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is.
I can just I can picture somebody in our Discord with a Chud Jack profile picture saying one more sweep of the lows.
Oh my god.
Man,
all right.
Man.
What I've heard a lot of talk about others and others' dominance recently. You think this wick bottomed others, Jackus?
Wait, once again.
You think this wick bottomed others?
No, I think that others will probably have one more sweep of the lows.
God, that phrase. One more.
It's so funny. No, but I legit do think so. But
I mean, don't you think we're like in here on others somewhere? Like,
I don't think you can use the prior cycle as example where we are. Like maybe time frame wise, yes, but not like price wise.
Yeah, because the others index has changed a lot since 2021, obviously.
Yeah.
Wait, is it true that I'm just reading this comment that media, like mainstream media, is calling for 6+% 10-year?
Are they?
No.
If that's true, then it's definitely topped.
I don't even know anybody that talks about the 10-year.
I mean, they were back here. They were calling for like 12%. You remember
always overshoot. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're calling for higher right here, I will be happy.
Top's likely in. Yeah. I mean, that was just a comment I read, so I don't know how true that comment was. But if like CNBC is talking about it and they're saying, yeah, it's going to 6+% here right now, and they weren't saying it the whole time, the top is close.
All right, hold up. Is this? Are you? I don't know if you guys are Wyckoff enjoyers, but is this real?
Is it Wyckoff or Wyckoff?
Whatever.
Kind of. It could definitely
Is it Cojones or
looked
Co
at-
Jones?
It definitely can be looked at as like a reaccumulation range, like similar to what we saw on the Russell, right? Like made a high, came down, accumulated, and then exited. But you know, we would have to this would have to be a real breakout, right? Like this would have to be a real breakout. So we'll see. But also, I mean, like I compared the DXY to the 2017 cycle, the week off. The 2021 cycle, the dollar really wasn't in a downtrend, right? Like it was kind of chopping, but also going up, like for the 2021 cycle. So like I don't know, like 2017 cycle, it was straight down. 2021 cycle, our most previous, it was up, down, and then up only for going into 2022. So like, how much signal does this give us? I mean, it's one piece of the puzzle. And I'd rather see it go down. But at the same time, like maybe it doesn't have to. Like you really don't know, right? Because we have two data points showing two different things. So I don't know.
You know what I'm going to compare this structure to? You're going to get such a kick out of this, guys. Tucker, can you pull up the KeyCat daily chart?
No. Yeah, absolutely.
Study profound autism.
Yeah.
Profound autism.
Daily chart.
Actually, go a little bit lower than that. Yeah, daily should be good. If you go back further.
Oh.
I remember because I bought this. I bought this expecting it to rip to a high again, and then it rugged.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to do something like this, but maybe. Haters will say it's fake.
I'm sure there's another Wyckoff continuation schematic where this deviates the high here and then goes to new lows. Like there's always a schematic for something. So like it's hard to use those. But
if you just make enough schematics, Louis, then you can always know what's happening.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my trading strategy.
Make as many schematics as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What happens if DXY keeps chatting higher? It's a good question. And what likely happens is that we got some big credit event for World 3 or something like that. Because when you have DXY chatting higher, that means that basically everyone is so stressed that they are looking for safe haven asset. And make no mistake, when shit hits the fan, it's not BTC, it's not even gold, it's not SPX, it's just fiat. Like,
yeah,
safe haven. When it comes to safe haven, it depends on a time frame. So like dollars will always lose purchasing power by its nature, because you can inflate them endlessly. But when very short term, they can be great preservance of your capital. Like speaking of like 6 months period. But when you think of like 4-year plus, then dollars will never do it, and you need to look for assets that are scarce or that produce something or so forth. So like that's how the safe haven question gets very tricky. So to once again answer your question, if DXY were to keep chatting higher, that would mean that there is some big problem going on within the economy or within the world, like World War III to some degree, something major happening. You could have, NATO joining the war against Russia or something like that. It would have to be, or you would need some serious liquidity issues within the U.S. economy, probably.
No. Oh dear. That doesn't look great when I draw this line.
I don't think the dollar is going to go to new highs, personally, but
well, it can't, or we're absolutely fried, Tommy.
I really don't think the dollar is going to get a new highs.
We just need
I think we get
I don't
more.
really have more to add. I just don't think it will.
Yeah. Like again, like rates are coming down, right? So like why are people going to want to hold dollars and earn yield when the yield is coming down, right? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it just got a big pop because Powell was super hawkish, right? They went from 4 to
that's
2.
what I'm saying. It's a knee-jerk reaction. So right now, yeah, but like people are gonna realize, oh wait, rates, they're still cutting rates. They didn't say they're gonna stop cutting rates. Like rates are still gonna continue to drop, and people are gonna have to find another way to earn yield on their money, aka risk assets.
The problem though is that while rates are still coming down, we're still not seeing a ton of demand for our debt, right? We're still not seeing a ton of enough demand for US debt from foreign entities to like lift TLT basically, right? There's not enough demand for our bonds. There's not enough demand for our debt to drop the 10-year. So that's
what's likely happening is that you have kind of this push-pull dynamic between, is the United States government going to keep spending money, and a president that says, or he hasn't really been like, he said that, I mean, obviously we've had the existence of Doge created in the last few weeks, the last few months, which makes people think, maybe we're not going to be spending quite as much. Maybe the United States government is going to be a little bit more frugal going forward, a bit of a stronger dollar. And I kind of feel like the inauguration is going to be a sell the news event on the dollar, because it's a populist, it's a populist regime we're headed into, and with a full mandate, they're going to be spending money. So I kind of think you'll probably see the dollar top around the inauguration.
One can hope. One can hope.
If it goes to new highs, throw out what I just said.
Yeah, I would love Jackus's take on this real quick as a European.
No, that's just Europe being fucked. It doesn't mean anything bad for USDT. It merely means that Europe is currently run by socialists, and we know what happens to socialistic regions. It's very unfortunate. There is starting to be a revolt around it. Like people are slowly waking up, but slowly. So you need to kind of, I hope it doesn't come to, and I don't think it comes to like the way it happened in Argentina, but it simply will probably take more time for people to wake up and say like, hey, this is a big problem. And you can think what's happening in Germany, right? But yeah, it doesn't affect USDT. It's just, again, it's just Europe kind of killing itself even more than it has by now. And I think there is a good joke running around Twitter right now where like Europe regulates crypto the most, but it doesn't have any crypto companies. Europe regulates the most social media, but it doesn't have any social media companies. And soon Europe will regulate the most the automotive, but it will not be producing any cars either. So
I will
it's
say
sad
the only
and funny.
Sorry for interrupting you, Jack. I was just going to say the only thing Europe does have related to crypto that's pretty important is a lot of these layer 1 blockchains have a significant number of validators in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, there is few countries in Europe who are doing better than the others, right? But in general, the region is not doing well, and it's also because like our structure is way different. Like the countries here are not like in US. It's not like, the way I always view US is more like regions, but it's one nation, whereas in Europe it's way more nation. It's like so many nations, and it's a one big region, right? So it's like vice versa. Plus, we cannot elect pretty much the big officials in European Parliament, whereas like you guys have basically two sides, and you can at least flip between those and change things. But we can pretty much only do that on like national level. Like we can do few elects into Europe, but we can only do it from our own country, so we can like get few, and then they elect themselves in Europe. So we are kind of ruled by unelected people. So I do not want to jump too much into that, but going back to that question regarding USDT, for USDT, it's really not a big of a problem.
I agree. USDT is holding mostly US Treasuries.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit convoluted and hard to understand.
Who's this guy? Never seen this guy before.
Who's this Emilio guy? So, okay, we're going to compare June 6, 2011 to April 1st, 2013. All right, June 6th, basically here, to April 1st, 2013, which is here. All right, I'm going to delete this one for now. Okay. Okay, compare this time period where we just went vertical to December 4th, 17 to April 12th, 21, which is this top to top, basically. I don't see a ton of similarities, Emilio. Then compare November 25th, 13 to December. Oh my God. We're not. I can't do it, man. 13. I don't think we can do it. It's too much.
Yeah, just send it. Just send us what you're looking at.
Send us what you're looking at in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm lost here.
It's too schizo. Tommy is very interested, though.
So hold on, let me take a look. I might be able to decipher the message.
I mean, it's pretty wild.
Isn't this what Big Sal was trying to say?
Maybe.
Is it? Big Sal right all along?
Where is Big Sal?
Big Sal is just saying that we're in 2017, and we were like, yeah, we agree. And he was like, no, you don't understand. And we were like,
he's like, you don't get it.
We agree with you. And he's like, no. All right. Oh my God, Emilio. He put it in the general chat.
Yeah, where is Big Sal? Where'd you go, big guy?
So he's basically saying up only is really what he's saying after looking at this picture.
Thank you. We needed that.
It's still loading for me. I have bad Wi-Fi.
He's saying 1 million Bitcoin by November of next year. That's what he's saying.
I'd be cool with that.
He's saying
Emilio.
2009 to 2017 was one cycle, and then 2017 to 2025 is the second cycle. So 2 larger cycles, I guess.
Okay.
Super cycle.
I like that, actually.
Oh, Tommy likes it.
Ooh. I like it. Fits my bias.
We
all make a lot of money. It's just hard to you can't really, it's one of those things where it could definitely play out, but like as far as precision goes, calling local tops and bottoms, you can't really do that with it. But I like the idea, especially in relationship to what Jackus has talked about in relation with Bitcoin and monetary supply.
Oh.
Tommy using Burger King's Wi-Fi right now.
Wow, man. How dare you accuse me of going to Burger King? I'm a Whataburger man.
How dare you slander Burger King like that?
I haven't had a burger. Actually, I had a Burger King burger like a year or two ago, and it was, I'm sorry, I am gonna slander Burger King. It was tasteless.
No, it's terrible. I haven't been to Burger King in 7 years at least, I feel like.
Their burgers are still pretty big compared to other fast food joints, but it was not taste-wise, it just wasn't it.
Yeah.
I used to love their snackers. If you know, you know.
It wasn't Burger King, Tommy, but it does remind me of like that meme with WeChain. Like we have entered a cooperation with McDonald's, and then McDonald's. we have not entered any cooperation with WeChain. Their stuff is only using us to feed their stuff, or using their burgers to feed our stuff.
The most obvious top in hindsight was Theta working with Katy Perry.
The most obvious top. I mean, Chainlink is partnered with everybody, bro. Everybody. Swift, right? Aren't they partnered with Swift somehow?
Yeah.
We've spurred a burger debate in the comments. I love it. Go to the gym. I do go to the gym, brother.
Five Guys is based in and out or bust.
Five Guys is that's my go-to. It's Five
Guys is solid.
Yeah.
Five Guys.
XRP is partnered with Swift. That's what he said.
No, they're not. No, they're not. That was like always like the big thing.
They're not. No way.
Was gonna replace Swift, and then Chainlink went ahead and made the partnership, and XRP still is not partnered with Swift. But there's conspiracies that they're already working together, which is possible. You never know. But yeah, they're not. That was always the thing.
I saw one of our subscribers sent a really like conspiracy video of this guy talking about like the cryptos that the US government is going to be pushing and buying, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot, I'll watch it. And I get like 5 to 10 minutes in, he's talking about how Tether is basically the bidder of last resort of US treasuries, and that eventually like inflating the crypto market is going to benefit coins like ADA and HBAR the most. I had to stop watching after that. I hope it happens. I'm assuming he's got some bags in there, but I don't know. That might be a little too off the wall for me to believe.
It's the like
one thing that's true though. One thing that's true though is that Tether is truly, I think, one of the biggest bidders of US debt alongside Buffett right now. I think.
That's true. That is true.
Well, then they're
doing.
It just
makes so much.
Do you think Tether's angling to become the CBDC?
CBDC.
Probably.
Like cumulative
probably get one at some point. That's just my bias is that it's unavoidable. We probably will end up with a CBDC at some point.
Oh, CBDC.
Right.
I think that maybe stablecoins kind of could fit in that role, in a shy way. Like people are very much publicly opposed to CBDCs, but if you think about it, stablecoins are CBDCs. So they could push it with like USD Circle, for example, of which they have full control, and they know which addresses are what, and then all they have to do is basically just say, hey, you have to KYC your USDC wallets or something, and you're fucked. Or like that's the way, in a shy way, to establish CBDC, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think so too, especially because they own so many U.S. treasuries. They're kind of kissing the ring. I think Tether is playing the long game to a large extent by doing so. And, kind of by doing so as well, Tether's not really as protected from, I feel like they are less, they're more protected, but also less protected at the same time from centralization or censorship, because they're tying themselves so closely to the US dollar and the US government. But my tinfoil has been on here. I was thinking about it last night. How funny would it be if a guy like BitNext, who has been fudding there for years, saying they're not credible, backed by nothing, ends up like they end up becoming the most credible form of digital currency.
Indeed. Yeah, I think pretty much they didn't have much other option, right? Because they were heavily, like, if you really think about it, when they started doing this was the time of the peak FUD during 2018, like post 2017. I think someone realized, hey, this is a big problem, and hey, we gotta either they told them you will start buying our bonds, or they were smart enough and started doing it themselves. But
yeah,
in whichever way it was, the result is that they had to do this because they're like, it's like their insurance that they will not get a crackdown.
Yeah, they legitimized whether however they started out or not was shady, which probably was. They've done what they needed to do to become legitimized. Now they kind of have that safety net just by working working with the U.S.
Do you know that line? Fake it until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what they did.
They made it.
Yeah, yeah, and now they're just one of the most profitable companies in the world, and they're just buying up U.S. debt, and the U.S. like, all right, you can play as long as you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. That's really what it comes down to, just at a higher level.
It's an interesting conversation for sure. Just felt like I had to bring that up.
Tommy, what's the hyperliquid plan here?
Well, I mean, we'll see, right? I think there is a decent amount of FUD out there. Clearly, for a long time, the FUD has been driven, and probably still is driven, by both coping sideliners as well as direct competitors to the product. But from a structural standpoint, you can make the argument it's lost a little bit of momentum here. So I think if you are not able to reclaim that $30, $31 level, you could see a deeper pullback on it for sure. I think until the network is secured by more validators, there's going to be a little bit of risk there. So just like with any DeFi product in crypto, I think majority of DeFi apps and products are actually only 4 or 5 like it's a very similar format to a lot of other DeFi protocols, but better safe than sorry, right? But I'm still bullish on the coin. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So what? There was some.
And I've taken comfortable profit, but if you're buying up here, I think you do need to be aware it could absolutely pull back deeper.
Dude, this looks like GOAT, man. This looks like the GOAT chart, Tommy.
A little bit.
It really like I remember the early GOAT PA.
Every time I see the full name of the coin, I chuckle. We won't talk about that.
Goatius Maximus.
We won't talk
Are they
about
gonna give me, dude? Why don't they give me the full PA anymore?
It's probably like all the FUD is probably nothing, but again, better safe than sorry. A lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of reason to have PTSD in this space regarding custody of funds.
That's true.
I'm gonna find it.
They had to stop the rally somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally about to enter a parabola before that FUD came out last night. I was
like, this thing's gonna go without us. We gotta like make up some FUD. Classic. Such a classic move.
Never mind. Maybe I'm not. It literally, that's so frustrating. It really does though. Like I remember this here.
It kind of looks like what SPX 6900 did, right?
I remember when GOAT crossed. This was like 20 mil for GOAT. And then it ran up to like 100 something. And then it pulled back hard. Like this should leg up again, is basically what I'm saying. If it's going to fall down.
What do you think about it looking like whip, Tucker? Yeah. Like it broke out from the that consolidation from like December and January.
Talking about there.
Yeah, it had a second drive towards the top. Obviously going to be a little bit less impulsive because it's not a meme coin. a lot less impulsive because it's not a meme coin and it's a higher market cap. But I think same idea, roughly speaking. Regardless of whether you think the FUD is true or not, I personally think it's baseless, but that doesn't matter. I'm trading market structure at the end of the day. Market structure has kind of it's showing a lot of weakness here, unless you're literally about to V out of this low.
Yeah, unless it holds this level, I would agree. It needs to hold here, because if it holds here, you technically still have an uptrend. You're not entering parabola just yet, but you still have an uptrend technically. So
yeah,
we will see. But regardless, like you said, Tommy, like even if it does, like if it comes lower,
I'll be buying a dip.
That's your generational entry. Yeah.
Dude, Whiff is so dead.
Whiff is
check the chart.
Whiff is fried.
Wait, really?
I remember people attacking me for shitting on that one.
Oof.
Like relentlessly. I was like, why would you buy a meme that's just like pumped by VCs? Like you're legitimately like buying their garbage. Like they're totally dumping on you, and you would come here and defend that coin. Why?
You know what it kind of looks like, man? Kind of looks like that Bitcoin double top.
Yes. I was looking at it and thinking the same.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
January 2022.
Yeah. Hang on. I already got this open, don't I?
But even, listen, the thing is, even if it were to pump with, I would still not buy it, because that's legitimately being pushed by, like, I don't know if just 2 or more, but like few influencers who just launched it and then they were dumping on their followers. That's it. Like, it's not the same as with Pepe, who nowadays is way more fairly distributed, right? It's a, in a way, it's a more fair meme coin. It's way fair.
Yeah,
it's
bigger than any like one person or group of people. It's
its
own thing.
And on top of that, it's the nature, or like the most basic meme of the internet, unlike a made up meme, right? Like you have Doge, that's the meme of crypto. But exactly, the dog doesn't need a head.
You'll never see the dog with the hat on. The
dog never needed the hat.
Never did. Yeah, never did.
Those funds are still sitting there for the spear. And I always said they didn't have to rug the funds that came to pay for the spear, because the exit liquidity that they generated hyping that was plenty enough for early insiders that needed liquidity to be able to exit.
Exactly, Manish. Whiff was a forced meme, unlike Pepe, which is a natural, cultural internet meme. That's the difference.
But if this is the future for Whiff over here, though, guys.
And Doge, by the way, SHIB was in a way too, right? That was just a beta to Doge in a past cycle, SHIB, and Floki too. It did its part. But Doge is the natural, cultural meme of crypto. So it has a role of its own too, I would say.
Hold on. This is going to be...
If a Lindy meme of crypto.
If I were to pick 2 memes that stay here forever, that would be Doge and Pepe.
It's this. It's literally this. Maybe not that low. -1. That's negative. Never mind. We can't have that. There you go.
You put it on log.
Oh, that's going to screw it up, isn't it? Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, no, you just have to refit it. It's that line.
Yeah. So it'd be something like that. $10.
Is this the future for a lot of Solana meme coins?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bro.
Maybe.
Sure hope not.
Without that upside. Without that upside, okay.
Without the upside, just right here.
Straight down. Whoosh.
Yeah, just there.
Whoosh,
I mean,
you're now underwater.
It's literally printing a McDonald's M.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tommy, you want to wrap us up, brother?
Yeah, we can wrap up. Let me see how quickly this can load. Everybody's been making fun of my Wi-Fi. Well, you get one more opportunity to do it right now. Let me share my screen. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show. And of course, we hope that you will, as the screen says, join our family, our Because Bitcoin, our BB family. We have a lot of different ways that you can join us, right? And the first of which being if you are looking for your go-to tool for this cycle, right? Whether or not you are an active trader, trading derivatives, trading on a lower time frame, using that data to make decisions, for trading, like I said, that is a bit more active, right? We have the tool for you. Whether or not you are a long-term investor looking to make long-term decisions that will help, structure your portfolio, knowing when an asset might be over or undervalued, we have the tool for you. And of course, whether or not you are an on-chain degen that loves to trade meme coins, we will soon have the tool for you as well. So make sure to take advantage of the BB terminal at these discounted prices while you still can. As we always say, as the prices of the crypto market go up, so do the prices of our products. Of course, we were nice enough to package your go-to tool for the cycle with your source of go-to alpha as well, guys, the BB Discord. That is where we give our thoughts on the market for 4 or 5 hours every single day on live calls. We give you guys updates on our positioning, kind of our thoughts on the market in real time. And of course, you get a kick-ass community as well. So make sure to check out the BB Discord. We were nice enough, as I said, to package these two things together for you at a discounted rate. So make sure to take advantage of those. Of course, we also have the BB Academy, guys. So if you are looking to hone your educational base or reach trading level mastery, we have a product for you as well. It's invaluable to be able to learn from a team of traders who approach the market in a variety of very different ways. I really like, there's not a course anywhere on CT that you can find that has anything similar to what we offer through the BB Academy. So make sure to check out that as well. Everything that I've discussed so far is linked in the description below. But of course, we also have BB Wealth Management, guys. That is an SEC registered hedge fund. Maybe it is difficult for you to be able to pick winners in this market. Maybe it is difficult for you to be able to stomach downside and, of course, all the volatility that crypto provides. Well, our solution for you is we offer the option for the team to potentially manage money for you. So, like I said, check out the description below if you are interested in becoming an accredited investor or an LP, and we will reach out to you and hopefully answer any and all questions that you might have. But yeah, guys, that is it for Market Check today. We will be back on Friday. So until we see you on Friday, we'll be back at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Wabi will be live this afternoon for Market Talk, live through our Because Bitcoin X account. I'm still getting used to saying X over Twitter, I gotta say. But so make sure to follow Wabi and, of course, the Because Bitcoin account so you can be notified, not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. We'll see where the market's trading on Friday, though. That is it from us. Until then, though, guys, thank you again, as always. Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah. And of course, stay safe. Thanks, guys.
Ciao.